many companies, whether it's Fortune 500, the multinational government agencies, but also small and medium-sized businesses, they are putting more core systems, more apps, and more data into the cloud. And unfortunately, the reality is not always what they initially expected. Regis Lewis, he's the Vice President Product Strategy from Oracle, is here to talk through some of the myths, but also the challenges that have come up during this last turbulent month. And Regis, maybe you have some practical tips as well for us how to excel in this new normal. So Regis, a statement I hear often back from all different kinds of sizes of companies. And if I summarize it, it's about survival, not innovation. But I think innovation is survival. What's your view on this?
You're totally right. I mean, the recent period has really shown the need to rethink the way we work, and this mentality is here to stay. And every customer I work with, they're all working on new business processes, new way to interact with their customers, with their employees. They've all understood that cloud computing can be a fantastic enabler to really accelerate this transformation for all the reasons we all know about: agility, automation, scalability, resilience, and so on. Having said that, really transforming the business is not just building a new app in the cloud. Very often that involves moving mission-critical systems that are running on-prem today to the cloud. And traditionally, customers had many challenges around this with the first generation of cloud. The lack of enterprise readiness, the complexity of moving those systems, the compliance with data sovereignty type of regulation, the fear of being locked in. At Oracle, we've really built the Oracle Cloud infrastructure to focus on these challenges. We focused on enterprise readiness, the security, the performance, the SLA, the governance, to provide a real infrastructure to deploy these very critical, mission-critical systems. Give you an example, the French railways, they have taken their entire ERP system with all the applications around it, a system that run 24/7 with rack in the back end, move this to the Oracle Cloud just in a few months. Now, enterprise readiness is key, but also customers are looking at a low/predictable cost to implement this transformation. And honestly, they've seen some unpredictable cost with the first generation of clouds, costs that did not anticipate, like the network cost, the storage cost. We've made very specific decisions at Oracle to provide a low cost and predictable cost model for these customers. For instance, on the data egress, we have a flat, very low cost model versus all the competition. Example of this is 8x8. It's a leader in the teleconferencing type of business, and they have reduced by 80% their network egress cost by adopting the Oracle Cloud versus Amazon Web Services, for instance. So enterprise readiness, low predictable cost. The third element that has been key for customers is having a system that is hybrid and multi-cloud. And because customers need to have a system that will remain on-prem for some time, and they can seamlessly move across to the cloud in a very seamless fashion. They also need to make their investments running not just in one cloud, but in multiple clouds. So at Oracle, we've invented a concept called Cloud at Customer that really allows customers who cannot adopt the cloud in the public cloud to have the cloud to come inside their own data center and still subscribe to services, still having this fully automated and managed by Oracle. Example of this is Crédit Agricole in France. They have consolidated all their data about their financial systems into this Cloud at Customer concept. They could not adopt the public cloud for regulatory reasons, so we've brought the cloud to that. Now, multi-cloud is also a key element, and we have implemented very strategic partnership at Oracle with other vendors to make sure that these enterprise applications can move to a multi-cloud environment. We've done a specific partnership with Microsoft Azure so that people can deploy their applications to Microsoft and to Oracle, just like if it was one data center. We've done specific partnership with VMware so customers can take their VMware workload and move this to the cloud, and still continuing the exact same operational model as they have on premise. So all this has really been to address these challenges with the first generation of cloud. All this has been to remove any roadblock for enterprise customers to move these critical applications to the cloud and really contribute to their digital transformation.
we have been facing a lot of change in the last couple of months. And the question is, we are or we are not going to be back to the old days. Regis, can you share your view, as we have seen a substantial increased need for speed, for agility, but also for adaptability to build a resilient company based upon cloud infrastructures? What's your idea about this?
Well, you're right. The more people are moving these mission-critical systems to the cloud, the more they need an underpinning infrastructure they can really trust in terms of availability, performance, as you said, resilience, automation, and so on. And the recent time we went through has really exacerbated this requirement for speed and agility. And sometimes customers had only a few weeks to react, change their business process, their business model, their operational model. I'll give you the example of Zoom, as we all know, leading companies in the teleconferencing type of business. They've multiplied by 30x the number of connections to their systems. And they've already been able to be up and running on the Oracle Cloud in 8 hours. That really gives you an idea of the type of speed and agility people can gain out of cloud computing. Now, as you said, performance is critical, but performance means multiple different things in the cloud. It's great to have excellent response time, but in the cloud, it also means the need for predictable performance. It's all good to have good performance, but you need to make sure this is consistent performance. And we've made very specific work at Oracle to make it not only predictable, but we guarantee the performance by SLA, which is very unique. The second thing that performance means in the cloud is the correlation with cost. You know, when you're billed by the minute, if you can do 3 times as much in 1 minute, that means you're going to pay 3 times less. It's just mathematics. And all the work we've done on performance on the Oracle Cloud leads to a great saving in terms of cost. Now, give you examples of what you can do with performance as well in terms of innovations. National Grid in the UK, they are using the Oracle Cloud to deploy 21,000 machine learning models to predict the weather, because that will tell them when the renewable electricity production can really happen in the most effective way. So these are the type of applications that require an extreme power for really a very significant outcome. Now, the other thing is, as people are moving these serious applications to the cloud, they also need the cloud to have the proper coverage in terms of geography. They need their cloud to be as close as possible to their on-premise environments. And we have rolled out the Oracle Cloud around the world very aggressively. We have today 26 regions live. We plan to have 36 regions from 12 months from now. And that translates, to give you an idea, of a rollout of 1 data center every 23 days in average. Give you a sense of this massive expansion. And our strategy also involved having 2 sites in each country so that customers can really ensure disaster recovery inside the same country under the same regulation to meet all their data residency and regulation requirements. And by the way, it's worth mentioning that while we are multiplying this number of data centers, we are extremely involved in ensuring that we minimize the environmental impact of this investment. For instance, 100% of our European data center is powered with renewable energy. All our hardware are designed for maximum recycling. All our cooling is optimized to minimize the potable water consumption. So sustainability is a key element also of this expansion strategy for this infrastructure.
Great to see that you help IT professionals to sleep well at night. Regis, thank you for busting this myth. And it's great to have you on the show. And you're invited to bust some more myths in the near future. And for the audience, thank you for watching and see you next time.